Allison Pearson's first novel, I Don't Know How She Does It, was a sharp, funny look at the folly and the joy of having it all. Her heroine, Kate Reddy, she spoke for the list keeper in all of us, the over-harried, overtaxed working mom. It's the kind of book where you start to underline the passages that speak to you, but you have to give it up almost immediately because you're underlining the whole damn book. And not surprisingly, it was a huge bestseller in the US and the UK, selling 500,000 copies. It was translated into 31 languages, and it's now going to be a major feature film written by the same woman who adopted The Devil Wears Prada, starring Sarah Jessica Parker as the heroine Kate Reddy, which is sort of perfect in every way. In her new book, I Think I Love You, Allison turns her keen eye on that rite of passage of young women everywhere, the celebrity crush. With her trademark wit and melancholy, she explores that first love, which is no less passionate for being utterly unrequited. She's mother to 2 young teenagers and wife to the New Yorker film critic Anthony Lane, and oh yes, she also has a teensy little day job as a columnist for the London Daily Telegraph, where she writes about everything from politics and current affairs to Christmas puddings. She's also worked at The Independent, The Evening Standard, and The Daily Mail. She was named Critic of the Year and Interviewer of the Year, which is kind of a daunting thing for me now about to interview her. Please welcome Allison Pearson.
Got to get all my, anyone hear me? Got to get all my ducks in a row here with all my different books. Well, thank you to Tina and Joanna. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here at the Appel Salon series and to be in Toronto, where I've had the most intelligent, humorous interviewers in my life. So I don't really want to leave and go to New York because I'm sure they're bound to start getting a bit snipey. Now, it's not often that I attend a respectable gathering like this evening, carrying posters of semi-naked young men. But for Toronto Public Library, no humiliation is too great. Now, this gentleman, when I was 13, bestrode my teenage world like a colossus, really. And the thing you have to notice about him is crucial lack of body hair. No self-respecting teen idol ever has chest hair. And I'm just going to do a quick name the 70s star round. Anybody? Yeah, okay. Now, just in the spirit, this excellent book, free to the first person who can name all 6 of the Osmond brothers. Don't speak before you've got them all. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, round of applause, please. Now, I haven't done that because I'm a generous author. I've done that to establish that I'm not the saddest person in the room, okay? So just briefly, I Think I Love You, a novel in 2 parts. Joanna and I will talk about it in a minute. But the first part is set in South Wales, 1974. Not quite sure what the Canadian equivalent is. Bit of a rundown seaside steel town, you know, just really out there. Never to be confused with California, put it this way. And 13-year-old Petra Williams and her friend Sharon are obsessed with David Cassidy, and they learn everything they can about their hero from the Essential David Cassidy magazine. The girls know that if they accumulate enough facts about David, if they know his song lyrics better than he does, Petra and Sharon believe that they can win the heart of the pop star, who they are in competition with 30 million girls for. Anyway, when they finally meet their teen idol, they will dazzle him with their knowledge of his tragically neglected B-sides shortly before they marry him on a beach in Hawaii. Now, I actually did think I was going to marry David Cassidy on a beach in Hawaii, and who knows, there's still time. But meanwhile, in the less than salubrious offices of the Essential David Cassidy magazine in London, Bill, a young graduate who wants to be one of those hip gunslinger rock journos, has ended up with a job of writing David Cassidy's letters to his fans. So the alternating chapters in the book are Petra and her innocent yearning for this pop idol, and then we get Bill's cynicism about this American Nancy boy and the commercial world, which exploits the dreams of all those young girls. When I was researching I Think I Love You, I went onto eBay and I bid for all the sort of all this memorabilia from the 70s. And I put these David Cassidy posters up in my tiny little room at the top of our house. And one day my husband came in and he reeled back in horror and he said, "My God, it looks like the lair of a serial killer." Of course, teenage girls and serial killers have got quite a bit in common. The fans of David Cassidy, Donny Osmond, and of all the teen idols down the generations, from Frank Sinatra to Elvis Presley, Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, Justin Bieber, the great present-day idol, Zac Efron, my own daughter's love, Robert Pattinson. All of them are in the grip of a magnificent burning obsession. The teen idol comes somewhere in female development between loving your hamster and graduating to a real man with chest hair. Now, it's only a very, very brief time, maybe 18 months or so, but it is very, very powerful. So I'm just going to read a tiny bit from, just to give you an idea. This is Petra reflecting on the fact that David Cassidy is not going to be coming just yet, but going to be coming later in the year. So this is Petra in 1974, 13 years old. The cancellation of David Cassidy's tour at the start of 1974 was a bitter blow, but it also came as a relief. It gave me more time to perfect my plan for meeting David when he came later in the year. Maybe autumn. He would call it the fall, which seemed perfect to me. I knew that somehow I would have to travel to London or Manchester because Wales was so small it had no concert venue big enough to hold all the fans. I wasn't sure how I would get there. No money, no transport. A mother who thought any singer who wasn't Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau shouldn't be allowed. But once I got there and was safely outside the concert hall, I knew that everything would be fine. I would be hit by a car. Not a serious injury, obviously, not a disfiguring injury, just bad enough to be taken to the hospital by ambulance. David would be told about my accident and he would rush to my bedside. Things would be a little awkward at first, but we would soon get talking and he would be amazed by my in-depth knowledge of his records, particularly the B-sides. I would ask him if he was enjoying the fall and if he needed to use the bathroom. It would not be at all weird, it would be cool. David would be impressed by my command of American. Geez, he would smile and invite me to his house in Hawaii, where I would meet his 7 horses, and there would be garlands round our necks, and we would kiss and get married on the beach. I was already worried about my flip-flops. Yes, it was a kind of madness. It didn't last all that long, not in the great scheme of a life. But while I loved him, he was the world entire. So that's puppy love, barking mad.
Confess that for me it was the Monkees, all the Monkees, and there was a line in the Monkees song, I don't know if you remember, where they said, "We may be coming to your town," and I was convinced they were coming to my town, and the white vinyl go-go boots were all the rage, and I made my mother buy me a pair of white vinyl go-go boots, and I would sit in my white vinyl go-go boots and stare out my living room window, waiting for the Monkey Mobile to go by, because I knew they were coming to my town.
I too had white vinyl go-go.
Oh, did you?
They were very small.
Did they have the tragic ending that mine did, where you unzip them and the whole zipper came off in your hand?
Yeah, at the same time. They weren't very expensive.
No. They were. Oh, you are you your? That's okay. My mother was not sympathetic when the zipper came out, by the way. She was like, "I told you shouldn't buy those white vinyl go." Okay, so my first question to you has to be then, really, David Cassidy? Can you justify your love?
I don't feel defensive about this at all. I think the law of teen idols is that everybody else's, apart from your own, is ridiculous, but your own is perfect. And I think that's where I stand, really. David Cassidy was perfect.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think it was? Is there something about him in particular?
I think it's very strange when I look at my daughter's bedroom wall now and I see some of the Justin Bieber pictures or the Zac Efron, and I think, really, with just slightly different hair, they look the same, don't they? They're the same kind of cute, quite marsupial features. And I think it's